Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BEamNG.drIVe, and today we're going to be taking a look at some bowling pins. So we have two options available to us. We have a single pin, and then we have a full rack of bowling pins, which is what we're going to be starting off with. So we're going to spawn those up kind of inside my truck. Then we're going to just grab the truck, teleport it out of the way back there. And before we go and charge at those pins with the truck, let me just show you guys what they look like up close. So there is 10 of them, just like a normal rack of bowling pins. And I noticed something interesting. Depending on how you spawn them up determines their angle. So if you hit spawn new, they spawn in a different angle than if you hit replace. This angle, not exactly perfect, but it should be good enough to have some fun with it. And the reason I say it's not perfect is because if you look at the pins, if we came at them straight on like this, they're slightly crooked. If we come at them from this angle, that's like the correct angle. And that's a strike. I have actually only had like 2 strikes up until this point, and for the first one in the video, I strike. Maybe the reason why is up until this point, I've always just been coming at it straight along with the grid instead of coming at it at an angle like I was just mentioning. And to show you how it's crooked, if we look at this, the pins should be lined up with the grid, but you see, they're not. They should be straight across where, well, they're just not. 11 strikes more, and that is a 300. Or 9 strikes if you do that really stupid scoring they sometimes use on TV. They call it like the current frame scoring, which I think is dumb. 10 strikes is not 300. 11 strikes is not 300. 12 strikes, that's a 300. And that is strike number 2. I'm actually doing really good here, except I'm a little bit stuck on the pin. There we go. Had to use a little bit of that 4-wheel drive power right there. And I like coming at these pins at about 60 miles per hour, so that feels like it's a good speed to make sure you have enough force to go through them where it doesn't just plow through them and you're not able to do things. So now we'll reset the pins real quickly. And we're going to go for the turkey. Turkey is just 3 strikes in a row if you don't know your bowling terminology at all. But that's a pretty common one I think most people should know. So for the turkey, oh, coming in, not good, but yes, that's a turkey. And if we were actually trying to keep score, it's really easy if you just keep striking. Like if you bowl a perfect game, it's just 30 per frame. It's that simple. The second you miss though, that's when scoring gets a little bit more complex because you have to remember what you had in the previous frame and maybe even the frame before that frame. To be honest, once I don't strike, I'm going to probably stop keeping score. Because at that point, it's not a perfect game and I don't care. I'm only here for the 300s and that's it. If I get 300, I'm going to go for the 900. We can get a perfect series. At that point, you realize this game is too easy. Oh, look at that. This is a little bit easier. You know what I'm going to do? The next one, I'm going to come at it from the angle I was doing earlier. That actually makes it a little bit harder and maybe even a little bit more fun. Because here it's just like, maybe this is too easy. I just got 4 in a row and I wasn't even doing anything that great. I mean, the other alternative is you just change the rules and how you have to approach it. That could definitely make it harder as well. But if you come at it from this angle, I think that'll make it just a little bit harder, which will make it just a little bit more fun, even though it's kind of awkward looking. So if we do that, there we go. That was way harder. I missed that super bad. We only got 6 of them. So yeah, there goes my perfect game. Totally intentional though. Boring if you just keep striking. Unless, of course, you're playing for money, in which case you win the money, and winning money, that's never boring. For spare, we're going to pretend like, you know, we have a really wide lane and I hook it a lot to come at it from this angle. Yeah, that's totally how I did that. Also, deadwood doesn't matter. Except, I bet if the deadwood wasn't there, I would have got the spare. And deadwood, by the way, is just the term that stands for a pin that's in the way, basically. I mean, that's a little bit of a simplification, but a pin that's on the lane that shouldn't be on the lane, that's deadwood. And this truck is still going. Like, you could do a whole game with this thing, no problem. We'll spin this thing around right here, get us a fresh set, and we're going to try it again from this angle. Hopefully this time I don't miss the head pin. Because missing the head pin, that's all on me. Like, that just means I did awful right there. I think part of it was I was just so used to the other angle it threw me off. There we go, though. That feels a little bit more like you have to actually slide the vehicle into it to strike. Because before I was just kind of driving into it, doing a little itty-bitty slide and it would strike. Now if you want to strike, you really have to get the full side of your vehicle into the pins. So for this spare, this will be the first spare if I actually get it. Can I get it? Yes, I can. And oh no! Oh no! I just lost the wheel right there. I did not see that coming from the spare. It's like hitting 2 pins. Oh, that's not going to ruin my car. And then we lose a wheel. Okay, well, new vehicle. And then maybe we'll change the rules around a little bit as well. So instead of using the D series, we'll get a pigeon. I don't know how the pigeon will work here, to be honest with you, but I think the pigeon gets the little benefit of coming at the pins from the correct angle. D series, it doesn't get that because it's so big. Pigeon, I think it might be fair with this one. We're going to be coming at these a little bit slower, and it's so light, I don't know if it'll actually be able to really have that oomph to get through them. Not really. That looks like what happens when you give a child a 6-pound bowling ball and you say go bowl, and the bowling ball just stops when it hits the pins. That's exactly what just happened there. I can back out of it though, and we could try to get some of them on the spare. Like if I hit the pins that are just sitting on the floor, I might be able to get all of them. Probably only gonna get the 2 though. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no good way to remove the pins that have been knocked over like real life. Like you can't re-rack just the 2 and shove the rest out of the way or whatever. You just have to live with it. It'd be neat actually if you could set it up like that, where you go to the parts menu and you say I just need these pins and you choose those ones. But at the moment, the way it's set up, oh, that's a spare. But the way it's set up, you either get a single pin or all 10 of the pins. And that was crazy impressive. You can do it like real life where you have different bowling balls for different lanes, you have different cars for different spares. You can't have different cars for different situations because you know what you do? You say, okay, this is my striking one, and it's just so big, it just strikes every time, I'm pretty sure. Like, you don't even really have to try with this thing, probably. You just slide it a itty bit at the end, and it's going to cover every single pin. I'm not even going to try to give it the correct angle. We're going to go at it at the bad angle and just watch it hit them. And just for laughs, you know what? Open the cargo doors! Make it longer! Because it totally needs that, yeah. So here we go, sliding into them. And easy! How much damage do we get? Just, it looks like a little bit on that door, and that's it. Front is perfectly intact. Definitely could get a 300 game doing this. And if we actually came at it from the correct angle, do we even need to slide? Like, this thing might be wide enough where you just go straight at them from the right angle, and that's a strike. By the way, the first game I can remember where you actually bowl down bowling pins is Crazy Taxi. Do any of you guys know of a game that is older than that has that feature? If so, please do tell me, just because I'm genuinely curious about that. What was the first game where it said, here's a car, go get those bowling pins? I'd actually be surprised if the first game was Crazy Taxi, because that game came out in either like 1999 or 2000 or something like that. There are many, many years where a game could have came out before it that would have that. So, if you know one, tell me. Come on, spin around. There we go. Reset the pins and go. So after we get easy turkey, we're going to go to a different method here. There's actually one way that's the super hard way. That's what I'm going to show you after this. And by super hard, I mean I'm lucky not to just get a split every time. This is the house shot. The next one, that's the sports shot. Oh, I actually missed one! With the T-Series! How'd you screw that up so bad, WhyBeAre? I don't know. How do you miss it? Your vehicle is so big. Oh, whatever. All right. Get these guys reset. And here is the hard way. First, you get any vehicle with a tow hitch, and really any vehicle. So the D35 Beast is not overpowered in this situation, and in fact, it's probably a totally fair vehicle to use. And then you spawn up the giant flail. So what you do, you attach the giant flail to the vehicle, and of course, the vehicle spawned up in a way where it's a little bit awkward to do that. We have to do some maneuvering around. And once it's in position, you can go ahead and hit L to attach it. And once it's attached, you just drive forward just like before. But when you get near the pins, you're going to do it a little bit differently. So like right about here, we're going to hit L to get rid of the flail and then dodge the pins. So the flail works as an actual bowling ball. And in that situation, it worked out great. We were able to get 8 out of 10. Believe me, that's really, really good for doing it like this. Because doing it like this is so much harder. A lot of the time you'll actually get nothing because either you hit the pins with your vehicle, which would basically be a foul, or you just completely miss with the flail, which has happened multiple times to me. Like if you want to do it the best way, it's probably coming straight at it, but you can try to swing it so the chain can take out more of the pins. It's kind of a hard choice. Like what do you want to do, the easy way or the hard way? Doing it the easy way sometimes works out pretty well though. That is a 9 out of 10 there. And I'm going to say we're doing this no tap, so that's a strike. Thank you, no tap, for the easy strikes. So what else can we do to make this fun? How about instead of a flail, we do the travel trailer. This is like a little bit of an easier version of what I just did. At least I would think it'd be a little bit easier because with the ball and chain, it's pretty small. Although maybe the chain is what's taking them out and not actually the ball. So the trailer might be harder? I don't know. Let's figure this out. Come on, trailer. Get on me. All right. Can't see when you use the normal camera angle. So we're going to go all the way up to about, say, 60 miles per hour. Drop the trailer. And, oh, nice job. Oh, no, you were hiding the ones you left. At first, it looked like it was a strike. Then the trailer reveals it missed 3 of them. We're doing 7-pin no tap. So, boom, that's a strike now. Nice thing about doing it like this, though, is you don't have to worry about your truck getting destroyed. You just have to worry about your trailer getting destroyed. So how did the trailer hold up to that? Take a quick peek at it. Ooh, not very well. The trucks hold up a lot better to things like that. All right, reset everything. And this will probably be the last attempt we do using the trailer. And then we'll move on to something else. So let's just go ahead and back this thing up and attach the trailer and back it up a little bit more and go. I love doing that, where it's not even fully attached and you're just yanking along anyways because you don't care. So we're going to come at this pretty steep from the left, I would say, and drop it, and then around the pins with the truck. Come on. Is that a strike? That's a strike. That's how you do it. There we go. I didn't ever get a strike with the ball and chain. I got a strike with the trailer, so I think the trailer is just a tiny bit easier. And at this point in time, this is the last idea I have. What we're going to do is we're going to use the old cannon to knock the pins over, and we're going to do this from really far away because I think the cannon shoots so fast you actually need to slow down a little bit to get as many pins as possible. So we're going to be like way back where we started with the truck when we shoot, and we'll see how that works. And now that all that's out the way, go ahead and shoot. Freeze physics. Go to the pins, and let's see how this goes. It actually looks like it's going to hit them. So speed that up, and wow. Even from that far away, it was still going really, really fast. You saw I just kind of shot straight through them. That's why you only got a few of them. So you know what? Since it's going to go slow no matter what distance we are, I have a different idea. We're going to go point blank and just try to get the right angle at it. Because from that far away, actually getting the right angle is going to be almost hopeless, I would think. So we're going to bring it all the way up to here. And you're going to try to get like an actual entry angle you would get if you were doing real bowling, where you get like, you know, a few degrees of angle. Probably not quite that much, but maybe it'll deflect in a way that'll work. I don't know. We'll save this spot and then shoot it and see what happens. Ha! It missed the front. What? How did it miss the head pin? Okay. Tilt it a little bit more. I don't think, to be honest, what I've seen so far, I don't think you're ever going to get a strike with this unless it's super perfectly lined up. Like right there, you would hope for a little bit of deflection coming from the cannon, but no, it just went straight off, destroyed everything. And every time I just see the blankness, I don't think that's the bowling pins to reset them. I think that's the trailer. Keeps throwing me off. Alright, so what if we try to just head on at this thing? Is there any way for it to actually get them all, or can I get just the 1 and the 5? That'd be kind of interesting. I guess one of those things you never see in real life because it's basically impossible to hit them like that. If we go like this, just see what that do. Ooh, almost, but not quite. It went to just something you could see in real life. Anyways, I think that'll do it for the bowling pins in terms of just knocking them over. We could just real quickly drop them onto a vehicle so you can see how heavy they are. I would drop them on the trailer, but it's not exactly a fair vehicle to do that with, so we'll go with just a Grand Marshal and dump it on that. And I really only use just the D series on the strikes because it feels like it's a pretty good balance. Like I could use a different vehicle and make it a little bit harder or a little bit easier depending on which I choose. But the D series feels great doing that. So we're going to just drop the pins on that like that, a few feet in the air. Does a little bit of damage. We could drop them from a little bit higher now. See how much damage that does. Get some slow-mo going maybe, just to make it a little bit easier to see what's happening. Zoom out a bit. 8 times should be good. And, ooh, you can really see the pins jiggling right there. You can see just how much damage they did to the car there. That was a ton of damage. One of them's even still sitting on top of it. Another one's trying to come back. Oh, they bounced and they all came back for more. Car's drivability. Still some there. Another thing I should mention real quickly before we finish things up is that you can change the color of the pins. So you could just go to the color menu and choose whatever you want. And there are some preset colors you could choose from in the vehicle selector menu as well. And we got a strike by doing absolutely nothing. Now, you cannot change the color of the stripe. It's always going to be red. You could say, you know, you have a crazy pink and red, black and red, orange and red, green and red, whatever color you want, and red. Hopefully you like red stripes. anyways, I think that'll about do it for the bowling pins because I got nothing else I could do with them. So until next time, this has been WhyBeAre. I'll see ya.